Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, is back. He took a bit of a hiatus after going through a variety of different things in his life, including losing his father and opening a brand new studio called Gilga. He popped out earlier this year by re-releasing his album. It's now called Ada Vista, but this album was actually originally called 31500, I believe, and it came out during the pandemic. As I said earlier, he lost his father around the same time that he dropped that album. And so he basically just threw it out there and didn't do any promo, any videos or anything like that. And I guess he realized that, hey, I should probably promote this album. So he re-released it earlier this year. Around that same time, he announced that he was going to be dropping a brand new Childish Gambino album and that it would be the last Childish Gambino album. So me personally, when it comes to Donald Glover, he's actually like my spirit animal, probably like one of my favorite artists of all time, period. He's a multimedia artist, poly artist that does all kinds of cool stuff. And he represents black people. And so I've always rocked with Donald Glover. When it comes to his music, though, it's always hit or miss for me. Either I really, really, really love a Childish Gambino song, or it's something that I could probably do without. And that's usually how it goes with most of his music. His last album, Ada Vista, is a fine album, but it's not something that I actually like listen to on a regular basis. It's good music though, like it's progressive music, and I'm not saying that the music that Donald Glover makes is not bad. It's always progressive, it's always interesting, it's always showing off the talent, but it may not be necessarily for me at that time when he's delivering it. And that's kind of how I feel about Ada Vista. Like, it's a good album, but it's something that I don't go back to. Like, there's not a lot of songs that stand out to me like, oh man, like this is an album that I really, really want. So when he announced that he was doing another Childish Gambino album, in my head I was thinking, okay, so this dude's gonna hopefully do another hip hop album and rap, mostly because of the fact that I think that's what people want from him the most. Like, we miss his rapping. You know what I'm saying? Royalty is one of my favorite rap albums ever, and as is Because of the Internet. And I just want this dude to rap more, honestly. It's what it really comes down to, is I really just want him to rap more. And so he announced that he's doing this new album, which is attached to his new movie called Bando in the New World. And the trailer came out, which basically the movie is about seemingly a musician stuck in a post-apocalyptic world, meets a child and a mother. I think it's a mother. And basically they're surviving through the apocalypse. But the new album from Childish Gambino is actually supposed to be for the soundtrack to that movie. And so he announced the single Lithonia, which came out yesterday. And he's been teasing this all over his TikTok. Like, I follow him on TikTok, and he had like the whole like intro part, like the nobody gives a fuck, as like I think he was trying to create a viral trend with it. It didn't quite pan out the way that I think he's expecting it to. But it did get a little bit of traction. And when I heard that snippet, I was like, okay, cool. Well, it definitely doesn't sound like some rap stuff, but maybe this is like a red herring. Maybe it's going to drop into a crazy beat or something like that, and he gets some bars. So I was still like, positively optimistic about the release. And then the song came out, and to be honest, like it's just not hitting for me. Like I said, Donald Glover is a very, very talented person, and he has, at this point, seemingly unlimited resources, and it seems as if though he uses those resources as much as possible. I'm talking like the fact that he has a full studio, video team, writers, directors, set designers, costumes, all kinds of fun stuff this man has access to. And that seems to reflect in his music. Like, Lithonia is a very grandiose song. There's a lot going on in this song. There's a lot of live instrumentation, guitars, interesting lyrics. It's a very grandiose song. And when he said that this was the single to his album, which would also be a part of the movie soundtrack, I think the movie soundtrack aspect is actually the most important factor in all this, simply because of the fact that it sounds like it belongs in the movie. It doesn't sound like it's a rap album. It doesn't sound like it's a regular, typical music album that you would get from most artists. The song sounds epic. It sounds like an epic song that you would hear at the climax of a movie when the when the hero is running away from the bad guy or fighting the bad guy. That's kind of what the song sounds like. or even like an end credit kind of song. And so it's got me feeling some type of way, honestly, because like I said earlier, I really just want a straight up rap album from Donald Glover. Like I really enjoyed Donald Glover, Childish Gambino when he raps, like when he just spits. He's a very good rapper and he's improved significantly over the years. Like if you listen to his first project like Cul-de-sac or even Camp to Because the Internet, the growth that you hear in his rapping is amazing. And his last couple of rap verses, like when he did a rap verse on 21 Savage's last project, or sorry, 2 albums back, and a couple other joints, like this, the boy can still spit. And so it's like I really just want to get some raps from him. But Lithonia is suggesting that we're not going to get that from him. It will probably be something more grandiose, live instrumentation, maybe something similar to his previous album that he did that I can't think of the name of right now. Doesn't matter. But the point is that I think when it comes to Donald Glover, he's always going to try and push the threshold of creativity. He's always going to try to push the boundaries of what it means to be like a black musician or a black artist. And he's not the type to go backwards. So with that said, and with this single, it's almost confirming to me that we probably won't get a lot of rapping on this album, because in the progressive train of thought, rapping is not a progressive activity for artists. And I'm a rapper, you know what I'm saying? I just put out an album. So, I mean, I get it. Like rapping, and I just had a conversation with my friend about this the other day, about how like being good at rapping only means so much now. Like back in the day, Tuesday, which is always back in the day, your rapping ability really, it was important in terms of like how successful you were as an artist. Like if you're an artist like, I don't know, Nas or like Jay-Z, like your bars is more important. You know what I'm saying? Just the way that you rap and how you rap became very important. But then like with the rise of social media and the internet, and like even just like the shifting of the generations, the story and the personality and the creativity and how you approach it and like your look and your vibe, these things become a lot more important than the actual rapping. And I know we're not talking about Lupe Fiasco, but Lupe Fiasco is a prime example. He was actually the one that started this conversation that I had the other day, where he's an amazing rapper. I think Lupe Fiasco is one of the greatest rappers of all time. Every time he drops an album, it's always just bars, just rapping, rappity rap, very well. But, and not to like discredit Lupe Fiasco or anything like that, like that's all he really does is just rap very well. He does have crazy concepts, but he doesn't necessarily like lean into the concepts enough for us to like really connect to him as a person and his own overall like mythos of what he does. And so like his last album, I know this is not about like Lupe Fiasco's last album, but his last album, while it has really good rapping, it doesn't connect in the way that a lot of people need, like younger generations. Like they need story, they need fits, they need styles, they need all this other stuff around it besides just the music. And so going back to Donald Glover, it's like Donald Glover really understands this a lot. He's actually very good at understanding this, to where like when he drops a project, there's always other stuff around it. There's always some kind of hidden story. There's always some type of like ARG, like alternate reality games going on. There's always like theories. There's always a vibe and a tone. He's very good at establishing that. And I think that actually makes the music suffer just a little bit, to where it's like he's not going to necessarily like make the best music, but he's going to make the most interesting music. Because Lithonia is a very interesting song. Like for me, like when I listen to it, like I'm interested in it. I'm interested in the creativity and how far can he push himself and how far can he take his creative threshold. I find that all extremely interesting. Now, do I like it? It's okay. You know what I'm saying, like it's not like something that blows my mind. It doesn't make my heart sing in joy. It doesn't make me feel like I'm connected to it that much. But it's still interesting, and I still appreciate it. As an artist and as a consumer, I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the world that he's trying to create with his music, and I appreciate the effort that he puts into that. And so it's always a balance when it comes to Donald Glover's music, because it's always like, well, is Donald Glover pushing the threshold? Always. 9.9 out of 10, Donald Glover is always pushing the threshold and pushing the levels of creativity and pushing what it means to be an artist. He always is on the threshold and on the edge of that every single time. But when it comes to the actual like output of it, like the final result, it's hit or miss for me. Like I said, and this is my boy. Like Donald Glover's my boy. Childish Gambino is like probably one of the biggest influences of my life. I love that man. But I'm also honest about how I feel about art, and that's why you guys watch these watch these videos. And I feel like, yeah, Lithonia is fine. It doesn't bode well for me in terms of what I was expecting, what I'm wanting from Donald Glover. But it's still interesting. I'm still going to go check out Bando in the New World. Absolutely. Bando Stone in the New World is the full name of the movie. I'm absolutely going to check it out. It's going to be in IMAX. It's going to be dope. My boy Donald Glover doing it big with Gilga. He has Gilga Radio. So it's like he has so many other things going on that it's like, okay, I can give him a pass on Lithonia because we already know that there's going to be a lot more coming from this guy. And we're going to be seeing Donald Glover everywhere probably over the next 5 years. So I don't know, but what do you guys think? Let me know what you think about the song Lithonia. Make sure you guys like and follow, subscribe for future reaction videos. We're going to try and drop these on the daily. If you're an independent artist and you want to get your songs reviewed or whatever you got, it doesn't have to be a song. It could be a short film. It could be any piece of content. You can hit us up on Fiverr, or you can email me at info@starstruckmultimedia.com. I hope you guys stay safe. Enjoy your holiday. America's birthday. Woo! Love you. Be safe. Take care. Peace.